We all love a pretty planner, right? Decorated with stickers, washi tape, all of that. But what's really important is how we use our planners. And so in this video, I'm going to be taking you through my week and showing you what I do every day to use my planner. Now, full disclosure, today is actually Monday the 10th, and I just finished making this spread. I'm a little bit late. My plan going forward, especially in 2026, is to really do it on Sunday or even before that. But here we are, and I am now sitting down to do it. So I thought I'd take you along with me. By the way, if you're new here, my name's Mary Ellen. I teach you how to plan in creative and functional ways, and my dog's name is Bumble. My name is not Bumble, in case you're wondering. And it's a good thing I named the channel Planning with Bumble, because sometimes she interrupts us here on my channel, and that's just the way it goes. This is the sticker book I used for this spread. I actually filmed this as a Patreon video. This is Pop Splash by Happy Planner. What a cute sticker book, and what a cute spread. So these came from this page, and you can see they're almost all gone, but like there were little chunks of blocks, and I just kind of put maybe 2 or 3 together on each section to make like little decorative boxes, and I think it turned out lovely. So since I'm just sitting down to start my week, what I start with almost always is the things that I have going on this week. I'm only using 2 pens in this spread. Usually I'll use colorful pens as well, but since there's so much color on the page, I decided to stick with black this week. I'm using a Shuttle Art 0.05 for the small writing and a Tombow Mono drawing pen in the size 0.8 for the larger writing. So I'm going to start with this one and write out the things that I have going on. Obviously, things always pop up as I go, but I'm going to just put down what I know now. First of all, I have the gym on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so I'm going to write that in. And that's almost always at 10 o'clock. I do switch it up once in a while. I like to write it in because then it like, I don't know, it gives me credit. You know what I mean? I know when it is because I do it every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 10. And like I said, unless plans have to change it. But I like writing it in because it's something that I did. And you'll see that I tend to write in things that I don't need to, just to have a record of my life, because I love to look back on my planners and see what I was doing. And also something like the gym, I do like to give myself credit for, because actually, let's write it right here. Because, you know, I'm proud of myself. So let's write it in. I'm just using like big kind of fun letters for the spread, I guess you could say, if that's what we could call them. I'm going to take this smaller pen and just do little lines next to 10 o'clock on these 2 boxes. I tend to like to do that. So I had a couple things going on today, and I kind of want to break this box down into 2 parts. At 10 o'clock, yes, I was at the gym, but my dad was here meeting a tile person for an estimate on my kitchen floor. Long story, yes, my kitchen was done, but the floor was messed up a little bit. So if you've been following along, my kitchen was done, but there were some problems with the floor. So my brother has been ripping it out. We had to cut out the floor, put in a whole new floor, get it tested for asbestos. It was a big thing. Now I'm finally to the point where I am trying to hire somebody, so like to install the floor. So hopefully it's going to be done by Christmas. Let's, hope, fingers crossed. It's not done in time for Thanksgiving. Darn, I'm not going to have Thanksgiving at my house. Sorry, Mom. I keep telling her I'm going to take it over, and then I keep not doing it every year. But I will. Next year, I'm going to take it over. Okay? Okay. Anyway, I had a tile person come at 10 o'clock, and my dad met them here. So I'm going to write that in, and then I'm going to separate it. Let's just do a dashed line. Probably should have done that in the other pen. And we're going to separate this into 2. So first, we'll put that. And I forget the name of the tile company. I'm going to have to actually fill that out after this video. I don't know why I'm writing like this. It's definitely not my regular writing, and I'm kind of not liking it. It's kind of, I wanted it to be sort of fun and wide letters, but it's not really, I'm not really loving that. So I don't know. We're going to leave it though. We're going to keep going with that same thing because I already started it. I'll fill in the tile company's name here. And then I am going to write that I went grocery shopping because, hey, I got to give myself credit for that too, because I got out of the house and I went and got food. I had to buy a lot of ready-made stuff because I don't have an oven right now or dishwasher, and my refrigerator is in the dining room. So like, it's just kind of all discombobulated. So yeah, but I did go grocery shopping. We'll do grocery in big letters. Let's try to make it neater. Oh, I'm gonna run out of space. Yep, ran out of space. We'll do shopping in this smaller pen here in italics. And then I'll just write about buying like ready-made things. And like frozen stuff and yeah. Okay, and like I said, I'll fill that part out later. This, let's wait on that because what we're doing is just doing the whole week first. Oh my gosh, here comes Wallace. Wallace, please don't. Oh my gosh. As usual, there's a lot of stuff here for him to get in trouble with. All right, you can lay down, bud. Lay down. They like to see you. It's okay. You get the you'll get the purrs soon on the microphone. Bumble's not happy though. Let's move these pens then. We've got a situation going on that side of the desk. Yeah. Got to make room for Wallace. I do want to mention that my mom and dad stopped by. I might do a little journaling there, but like I said, let's go on and continue with the week. Tomorrow is Veterans Day, and I do like to note that because that's a very important day. I started this kind of writing, and it's going to be very hard to do that in such a short space, but we'll try. Let's do day in like cursive. I will decorate it somehow with stars or something. Also tomorrow I have another tile estimate, and that is at 3:30. These really do look like kindergarten letters. I don't know what I'm doing. And I do know the name of the tile companies, so I will write that in. And then I'll just write that my dad is coming over too. Told you my dog likes to talk. So Wednesday, I do have a 7 o'clock Zoom call with my Patreon members. We just like to hang out and chat, you know? Those are always fun. Thursday is a big day because it is my grandson Levi's first birthday, and I'm so excited. His party is on Saturday, but his birthday is on Thursday, so we will write that in here. I feel like it's boring if it's just black, but it's okay. I will write it up here and then do like a little journaling about it there or something. Since Levi's party is on Saturday, also on Thursday, my daughter Heather is coming up from Virginia with my granddaughter Lenny, and she's going to spend the weekend at my house, and I'm so excited about it because I don't get a lot of time with Lenny, so I'm really excited that they're going to stay with me, even though I have no kitchen, you know, but so I'll write that in. On Friday, Heather and I are going to my mom's house to bake cupcakes for the party because I don't have an oven, and I agreed to it. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll make the cupcakes, I'll make the smash cake, I'll make some white chicken chili. And then I realized, wait, I don't have an oven. I don't have an oven. It's in the dining room. It's unhooked. I can't. So I have to go to my mom's to bake, but we're going to do that. And I'm sure my mom will be very happy to have us because, of course, she misses these guys too. And then, like I said, Saturday is Levi's birthday party. That's at noon, so I'll write that in. Maybe it makes sense that I'm making these kind of letters because, like I said, they look like little kid letters, and he is a little kid. So maybe that makes sense. I don't have anything for Sunday yet. Sorry, Wallace, I got to push you aside, bud. I'm going to move these markers out of the way. Move over, buddy. Yeah, just sit over there. Okay. So I'm going to fill out my priority list next. And that's usually the second thing I do is fill out like to-do lists. I use this as my planner and my journal. So I'm going to leave these alone for now. I might fill out this one today. But sometimes I need them for a to-do list. Sometimes I use them for gratitude lists or just everyday journaling. I just happen to really like how lines look when I make the spread. They make me happy. It looks really balanced and cute. So I like having the lines there, whether I use them to write on or not. I don't need lines to write on. I'm pretty good at writing in a straight line, but like I just enjoy how it looks before the pen. So I've been doing that. And I have a separate notebook that is just for my to-do lists. So I'll be transferring like stuff from that notebook over here. So I don't need all my to-dos to live in my planner anymore. I like having them in a separate list like that. And then I'll just transfer the ones that are most important over to my planner. It seems to be working pretty well so far. I think though, what I might do here instead of priorities is I might just write the things that I need to do for Levi's party. I do have it in that other notebook, but I kind of like having it in my planner too. Luckily, they all fit in there perfectly, which is good. I just remembered the name of the tile company, so I'm going to put that in here. These two stickers I put in with the intention of either writing on them if I needed the extra space or keeping them blank because they could be just decorative. And the thing I love about that is there's a lot of these types of stickers, especially in the Happy Planner sticker book, that like could serve as either or. That they're plain enough to write on, but decorative enough to keep as like a decorative sticker. So I just wanted to give you that tip in case you're somebody who you're not sure like what you have coming up that week. You don't know if things are going to come in like quickly when you weren't expecting them or something. It's a good way to, you know, have an either or situation so that you can leave it as is or write in it. So I kind of like that I did that. Since it's 4:38, the day is like almost over and I'm not doing anything tonight. So I'm just going to journal a little bit about like my day here. And I'll write today up here, I guess. Okay, that's basically all I'm going to do today, and then I will come back on each day or whenever I write in it. Sometimes it's like every other day, and I'll just write a little bit more as we go on. Before I forget, I just wanted to show you a couple things I just did when I turned the camera off. I just doodled some stars on Veterans Day because, you know, I had that space. And then here, I did a little journaling about the gym, and I just said I felt strong doing bench presses today. It was a really good day at the gym. And then over here, I thought it looked kind of bare with that to do, so I just outlined it in this pen, went around it, and then I just drew little lines to emphasize to do. I'm not someone who loves a lot of white space in my planner, and even spaces like this kind of bug me, but I'll probably leave that one alone. I just like a really filled out planner. It makes me happy. Everyone's style is so different, and it all depends on like what you have going on, the way your brain works, and the way you just like your planner to look aesthetically. I mean, everyone is just different. And speaking of that, I'm going to put a couple of lines under today because it looked really bare there too. So yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to mention that so that I didn't forget next time. Okay, see you tomorrow. Hi, it's actually Wednesday. I did not write in my planner yesterday, so let's just jot some things down. One thing I want to put down here is I have cleaners coming tomorrow. I have new cleaners coming, and I forgot to write that in. So I'm going to take one of these, probably this one, and cover up some of this list. That's okay to do, because I might not need that anyway. And we're going to write that in, and they're coming at 10 o'clock. I wrote trying out someone new because I am switching cleaners. Mine was kind of expensive for what they did, and this person is less expensive, and also she does my mom's house, and she says she does a really good job, and she does extra stuff like beds and baseboards and stuff that my cleaners don't do, so I am trying her out tomorrow. So let's go back to yesterday. I'm going to leave this blank because nothing really happened yesterday. I did not go anywhere at all. The tile guy did come over, and I'm going to write about that here because it turns out now I have to pick a totally new tile. It's a whole long story, and it's like tile gate over here. It's just, it's stressing me out, but it is what it is, and I'm trying to, be okay with all of this. So I'm just going to write about that a little bit down here. I'm going to do a little journaling about the gym here. I think I told you that I do use a separate notebook for my lists, and this is what it looks like. I made it pretty so that I would actually do things, and it worked. So I'm going to take several of these things on my list. It goes to another page too, and I'm going to put it on a list of like priorities right here. I'm just going to choose the things I think are most important that needs to be done this week. Not Levi's party, but like other stuff. Okay, those are just some things that I think I really need to get done this week. So up here, I'll just write important. Friday is the yard waste pickup for the township, and I have to remember to put my leaf bags out Thursday. So I'm going to write a reminder right here for that, I guess. I'll just do it with this pen. Okay, that's it for today. I will come back either tomorrow or Friday, probably. I don't know. My daughter's going to be here tomorrow afternoon, so I might forget. But I will come back and finish this with you guys, I promise. So stay tuned. Hi, it is now Monday the 17th, and no, I did not write in my planner this weekend. However, I did look at my planner, and especially for the things I had to do for Levi's party, I just made sure I had everything locked and loaded for that. So let's just go quick and finish up this spread. It's almost done, really. Heather and Lenny stayed with me the entire weekend, and it was so nice. I love having Heather here, and especially Lenny. She is a joy. This little girl is always happy and smiling and laughing. She is the cutest thing. Anyway, I loved spending time with them. On Friday night, Heather's friend Nikki came over, and we had dinner, and Allie came over as well. So I'm going to write that here. On Saturday, we had my grandson's first birthday party. It went very well. I think I said it was at my ex-husband's house, and Levi was so cute. He had his own little smash cake, which is a thing now apparently, but when my kids turned one, we stuck the big cake in front of them. I have pictures of whole cakes just sitting on their high chair. I think I told you that it was a camping theme. It was one happy camper. So it was very cute. I baked the cupcakes, but Kaylee decorated them, and she made some that had orange and yellow sort of ombre kind of frosting. And like pretzel sticks and it looked like a fire. It was so cute. And then some other ones were like s'mores, and they had white icing with a little chocolate and a little graham cracker bear on them. It was so cute. Anyway, I made chili. I made white chicken chili, and it turned out great. I was nervous because I had to like obviously scale for a crowd, and my crock pot was really, really full, but it worked out okay. And I didn't have to use a stove, which was great because I do not have a stove right now, and I think I mentioned that already. So I'm just going to do a little journaling here about Levi's party. I just journaled a little bit more down here about my daughter and I working on a puzzle, and about how I can't believe it's been a whole year since Levi was born. So on Sunday, Heather and Lenny went home. Wah. So I'll write that here. And I think I explained to you about my tile. This is a thing with these After the Pen videos. When you're filming day by day, you don't remember what you said like earlier in the week. So anyway, I had to choose new tile for the kitchen because the tile I bought, 2 sides were beveled and 2 sides were straight edge. And my contractor said that installing them would be very difficult, and that could be part of the problem why Daryl had a tough time installing them before. So I asked him, like, what would you do if it was your kitchen? And he said he would just pick new tile. And that was frustrating because it took me so long to pick this tile. You know how particular I am about color and, you know, aesthetics. And anyway, my dad's like, I think you should pick a new tile. And I thought, no. I resisted it. I can't pick a new tile. And no tile stores around me are going to have anything, like, you know, which was true. I went to tile stores, so I'm going to write that in here. But I went to tile stores on Sunday, and there's hardly any 12 by 12 tiles anymore. And I'm doing a true checkerboard pattern, and there's like no 12 by 12 tiles. I shouldn't say no. There are some, but most of them are the 12 by 24s. I went to 3 different tile stores, and finally, the last tile store, I actually did find something. It was the only 12 by 12s they had, but I chose it, and it's, I don't know if I told you before, but it's going to be like a white and a taupe kind of checkerboard. This one that I chose is a little more tan than taupe, and it's a very subtle checkerboard, but I think it's going to be really good. And it was a lot cheaper, and they said I can get it next week, which is amazing because that means I'm going to have my kitchen finished by Christmas, which was my goal. Fingers crossed that everything goes smoothly, but I think it's going to happen, you guys. And that makes me so happy. I was in such a good mood yesterday because I found the tile and I can get it in by Christmas. Yay me. I've been dealing with this kitchen thing since July, so like I can't wait for it to be done. So I'm just going to write that here, that I went to the tile stores, and I'm going to journal about it down here because that was pretty much like my whole day yesterday. My writing kind of changed from the beginning to the end, but it's hard to write wide like that and not run out of room. Anyway, I am finished. I have a record of everything that went on this week, which I like to have. And now it's on to the next week. Do I have a spread for this week yet? No. And it's Monday, but I'm going to make it now and plan for this week. Yeah. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Maybe it was helpful, maybe it wasn't, but at least I hope it was enjoyable. And that's all I have for you today. If you like this kind of content, please be sure to subscribe to my channel. I am going to be putting out a lot more functional stuff, I think, coming up. So yeah, if you're into that kind of thing, you're probably going to want to check out my videos because there's always going to be decorative videos, don't get me wrong. But I feel like I'm moving toward a little more function too. So I have some ideas for the new year. So I hope you will stay tuned for that. Okay, that's all I have for you today. I hope you have a great day and a wonderful week, and I'll see you on my next one. Bye.